Yo. Wait, hold on. Let's see. Let me see the video. Oh my god.
I'm writing my own story. My style explores every version of who I am. Shop my tabby bag at Coach.
تفكر تحجز
Bro, these fucking
سفرة
ads
العيد.
just be so fucking much.
In 2002, an expedition through various coal mines in the Cerrejón Formation of Colombia dug up hundreds upon hundreds
I hate Rumble. I even deleted it from my phone, by the way. I swear, I really hate Rumble.
of different thoracic vertebrae
Well,
and
I'm so
ribs.
curious.
And not only were many of them well preserved, each one was noted for being unusually large. However, the scientists that found them weren't exactly shocked or impressed, as the formation they were found in was well known for housing numerous reptilian giants. Primarily
Teatro del Bobo, whatever this is, wasn't the largest snake ever? Then what is the largest snake?
kaiju-like turtles and monstrous crocs in the Paleocene. And because of this, plus the fact that certain reptiles superficially have similar vertebrae, the team simply concluded that they had stumbled upon a new crocodilian. Pretty cool, but nothing to write home about. However, only a few years later, the fossils were transported to the Florida Museum of Natural History, where by chance, they were re-examined. And this re-examination led to a rather unexpected find, which was that this hadn't been no giant croc, but rather a supersized snake. And when I say supersized, I mean supersized, as it belonged to an apparently titanic.
Yo! Yo, what is this? What is it eating? To be exact, what is it swallowing right now?
Serpent, and thus they
Is it like is its body naturally like this, or is it just getting puffy because it's swallowing this tall thing right here? I don't know, what is this.
they called this new snake the Titanoboa.
Titanoboa,
And since its
okay.
announcement to the world, the Titanoboa has become an icon in the world of paleontology, known by the masses and hailed as the largest, most powerful snake to have ever lived. And this boa was definitely a big one, as adults might have measured up to 12.8 meters or 42 feet in length, maybe even
Okay, calm
14.3
down,
meters or 47 feet, which,
What is the difference?
just to put that in perspective, is akin to the length of a fully grown sperm whale. So yeah, no thank you. And with these estimates, the Titanoboa easily dethroned the previous record holder, the Gigantophis garstini, a type of Matsoidae
That's
from
longer?
Eocene Egypt. And I'm sure if I was to take to the streets and was to ask people what the biggest or scariest snake ever was, I'm confident that most, if not all, would claim Titanoboa. If
I
they
don't even know what is this. I didn't even know what it was if it wasn't for that chart right there.
like paleontology that is, and they would do so with confidence and their chest puffed out. But here's the thing, the Matsoidae, who had just been usurped, was a family of snakes who were just as messed up as the boas, and throughout history, they cooked up some really messed up serpents besides just
Appreciate it.
the Gigantophis. And recently, it was discovered this family created a species
Yo, I swear. Imagine if this snake is just choking on you, bro. That shit would be so scary. That would be terrifying.
of their own, which was so monstrous that it may just have the Titanoboa beat. And yet, the public has barely ever heard of it. So without further ado,
Let me ask you. Let me watch it actually on YouTube. Just give me a minute. What time? 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes. Give me a second. Another fucking. Oh, it's a YouTube. Oh, it's a YouTube. Okay. But damn, bro. Holy fuck. That's so fucking scary. I swear to God. That makes me feel like I don't even know a lot of stuff about like
let me introduce you
animals. I swear to God.
to Vasuki indicus. This absolute unit of a serpent was only described just last year, in 2024. Yet, the holotype specimen has actually been unearthed since 2005, when in the Indian state of Gujarat, a collection of 27 pre-cloacal vertebrae were found.
That's a good question. There is no way you can live around these type of animals. I swear to God. Maybe you're sleeping, boom, one of them are gonna come up to you while you're sleeping, is gonna choke you, and you're dead. Whether it's like a lion or this Titanoboa or whatever this is called, you're done. GG's.
Some of which were even arranged in their would-be life positions. Ironically though, a bit similar to the Titanoboa's case, the paleontologists who stumbled upon these bones believed they had found a new croc, not a snake, and thus the fossils didn't undergo any further review.
What is that?
Yet, unlike the Titanoboa, who was re-examined a few years later,
What
this
hour?
specimen had to be patient, as it wasn't until 19
Is it
years
1
down the
hour?
road that
Yeah, 1
someone
hour,
decided
15
to
minutes.
take a
Let's
second
go.
peek at the matter.
W,
And boy
W.
oh boy, were they in for a surprise. As with better technology and more attention, they realized, just like the Titanoboa, that this was no crocky, but rather part of a giant snake. And due to certain characteristics seen in the vertebrae, it was no doubt a type of Matsoidae, albeit
God damn. So is it this, like, compared to the other snakes? Yo, that's a baby right here compared to this one right here. To number 3. That number 3 is so long.
a type never seen before.
Whoa, okay, that's way longer. Wait, is this
As
way
it was
longer
far
than this?
bigger
I don't
than
know.
any known species, including the Gigantophis.
Gigantophis.
Based on its post-zygapophyseal width, the team reckoned that at the very least, this new serpent must have been between 10.9 to 12.2 meters, or 36 to 40 feet, already putting it
4 foot? 8 feet? Bro, that's so fucking tall. I'm 6'1". That's way above me. Yo, oh my god. Imagine that choking on you. Even if you're LeBron, you're dead. Because LeBron is so tall. And I'm glazing him. I don't give a fuck. LeBron is dead. I'm not gonna lie.
in the top 5 largest snakes of all time, and longer than any reptile today. However, based on its pre-zygapophyseal width, it was even larger than this, with that bone yielding a length of 15.2 meters or 50 feet, giving it a strong edge over its largest relative, and even a slight edge over Titanoboa. And at this length, the Vasuki doesn't just become the new king of snakes, but also the longest non-dinosaur animal.
Oh my god, imagine being right here between its body. Yo, imagine what is the feel. Imagine how will you even feel. Yo, that's scary.
To have ever lived on land. And what do you call such an imposing beast? Well, if you've been paying attention, I've said it a few times, which is the Vasuki indicus.
Vasuki
And this might not seem to mean anything at first, but it really is a very fitting name, as Vasuki refers to the king of serpents in Hinduism, while Indicus references the fact that it was discovered in India. And so naturally, the discovery of a snake possibly bigger than Titanoboa created quite a bit of buzz. But there was, and still, is one looming question, which is that, while we have fair evidence that it was longer, we don't know for sure if Vasuki was heavier or lighter than the Titanoboa, given that the latter possessed a more robust, wider skeleton. And as of now, the maximum weight given to Vasuki indicus is about 1.1 tons, whereas the Titanoboa.
Siri, what is 1.1 tons in kgs?
Do you want me to use ChatGPT?
Yes.
1.1 tons is about 1,100 kilograms if you mean metric tons. That was from ChatGPT.
Oh my god! Yo, that shit is so heavy. What the fuck? It weighs like a car? Are you sure like a car or not even more than a car? Wait, what? Then how does it even move? Like, doesn't it get tired when it keeps on moving?
They've been slightly heavier,
It's so heavy.
with its max estimates
Like,
being about
just like a fat person. If somebody's so fat, if he walks for a bit, if he walks for like 3 minutes, he's done. He's so tired. Doesn't it feel the same thing? And it's 1.1 ton.
1.25 tons. So, not a huge difference, but enough that you might start questioning if Vasuki really outscares the previous ruler. And to that I say, ye must have little faith, because I can almost guarantee that if you had to pick one of these guys to meet
Fuck
in
outta
person,
here.
the safer option would almost certainly be the Titanoboa. And the reason for this is that you have all been lied to. Titanoboa was no Titan Slayer. See what I did there? Now settle down, everyone. Before you guys pick up your pitchforks, let me explain. When it was first described and classified as a boid, paleontologists assumed that Titanoboa would have acted a lot like a modern anaconda, which eats just about everything they can manage to swallow.
Oh my god, imagine being this nigga right here. Yo, is this the snake? Or is this the thing that's getting eaten?
Sometimes can't. With the main difference being that Titanoboa is like an anaconda on megaroids, and thus would have been able to tackle giant crocs, turtles, and pretty much anything else that.
Whoa, imagine being so dominant that you can eat 60% of the animals at the wilderness. Ban him. 7-year-old me, when I say infinity was the biggest number, and then say someone infinity plus 1. There's more than infinity. There's okay, no, I'm so dumb. I'm so
shared
sorry.
its environment. And for the most part, this early hypothesis has shaped how mainstream media has portrayed the Titanoboa, in other words, as a monstrous killer. However, in recent years, after more cranial material was recovered, scientists started to notice that its skull.
There's no way that's its skull. Bro, that skull is way bigger than my head. Of
was
course.
quite unlike that of most boids, having an unusual palate, an abnormal number of teeth, as well as the teeth themselves being suspiciously curved and shaped like hooks. Fishing hooks, to be exact. And therefore, the idea started to creep in that Titanoboa was all along just an oversized fisher, not a mammal killer
Yo, I'm actually
or
interested.
reptile
Wait.
killer.
I really
And
want
sure
to watch
enough,
more of
what
these
scientists
videos.
also discovered was that these morphologies were not like those of its relatives, but rather like those of modern-day, say, amphibian snakes, specifically those who maintain a piscivorous diet. And if you need any more evidence, then take into consideration where the Titanoboa actually lived, which
Where?
was warm
India?
regions where extensive rivers were found, along with a wide range of fish. And remains of the snake are often associated with various lungfish and osteoglossomorphs.
Imagine being these animals. Like, you're done. Like, GG. That's GG's right there. You don't even, I swear to God, you're not even like, you don't even know if you're gonna be alive the next day, or the next couple of hours, or the next couple of minutes. Because there's a lot of animals around you that is against you, like, are not the same creature as you. Like, for example, lions doesn't eat lions. There's more animals than this, than it's right, than this, like, there's not only one species right there. There's a lot of species at the single water right here. There's a lot. So you're gonna get hunted by a lot of shits. You are using your brain.
So-
I'm telling you, bro. I'm so fucking. I'm so smart. None of you guys even believe.
In other words, it looks like the snake had a taste for sushi, not chicken, if you get my
Oh.
drift. Now,
I'm
the
just- I'm
Suki indicus,
smart,
on the
I'm
other
telling
hand,
you, bro.
probably would have been much
None
more
of you guys
interested in
believe
you
me.
than your pet goldfish, with its vertebrae suggesting it to have most likely been a terrestrial
I'm
snake
smart, by
that
the way,
preferred
but
spend
when
its
it comes
time
to
on the ground
school and
than
shit,
in the
I'm so
waters.
dumb.
Or the trees for that matter too, with it being too heavy for the latter. Though I will say that in the case of swimming, it is believed to have been quite capable, and was probably surprisingly good at it.
Yo.
So if giant crocs were enough to
Yo.
keep you out of the water, then the Vasuki will. This is besides the point though. The bigger thing here is that these vertebrae not only reflected primarily terrestrial locomotion, but that it was also a constrictor snake who lacked any specific adaptations that would suggest a specialization in fish, and thus is presumed to have been more of a any kind of opportunity kind of guy.
Bro, imagine just chilling with your family, just like that. Boom, you're getting these tears right here. Yeah, now you know that you just lived your years for nothing. You lived over 10 years for nothing. This right here is gonna end it. As a snap like that, you're done. You're dead.
Eating crocs, turtles, fish, other snakes, and
Nigga,
get
how
this.
are you gonna eat a turtle? It got a fucking shell. How will you, okay, you'll only eat the head and the legs only. You can't eat the inside body, like the inside actual body, because it got a shell. Unless he got a strong ass teeth and he can, crack this thing and just drink it, eat it, he'll be good. Search El Moncho, he died. He was like the Bad Bunny of the drug trafficking. No, he died. Moncho or Concho? El Moncho. No, El Mencho. Mencho. Bro, why am I being like this? I don't even know who's this. Killed at Mexico. Was like the Bad Bunny of the drug traffic. I don't even know who's this, and I don't really support whatever he's doing, to be honest. He probably okay. Let's not talk about this.
Even primitive whales.
They have
So
a
yeah,
lot of
they
cartels.
definitely have quite the appetite.
That's what I know.
Here's the thing though, which actually to me makes the Vasuki even scarier. If you were sent back into its realm, you wouldn't find yourself running away or being chased by this creature, as its hunkering size rendered it quite slow and immobile. So instead, you would have had to be on edge
Whoa.
for every size.
Whoa. Why it got the head outside like that?
Rendered it quite slow and
Yo, that's
immobile.
freaking me out.
So instead, you would have had to be on edge for every second you were there. Because to get around the speed issue, the Vasuki indicus
7%
evolved
of
to be
Mexico?
an expert ambush hunter that likely utilized
I
camouflage
mean, maybe you're right, because I think there's a lot of these type of people at Mexico, like who sell like these type of stuff.
to stage strikes on
You know what I
unsuspecting
mean.
prey, which it would then kill via constriction.
I really hope they stop.
Now I
doing
know what
this
you're
thing,
thinking.
'cause Mexico
There
is
ain't
a
no
beautiful
way I'm
country.
missing a one-ton snake. And yes, its size would make it a bit easier to spot. But don't forget, snakes are
Was they drinking
really good
water?
at hiding.
Or was it just people like
really,
that?
really good. I mean, there's even the hypothesis that humans evolved good eyesight because of them. So yeah, good luck. And let me tell you, if you're starting to think that messing with a Vasuki is a bad idea, then just wait to hear
It is.
how it would eat you. Hint hint, it's not pretty.
Oh my god, I don't want to hear it. Just let's imagine. Let's imagine it.
You may know this if you've seen one of my older videos, but the group it belonged to, the Matsoidae, were a fairly ancient family of snakes, which appeared about 28 million years before the boids did, during the late Cretaceous. And because of this old age, they were quite primitive. And one way this showed was through the construction of their jaws, which unlike those of the boids, lacked an extra quadrate bone
jaw.
and elastic tendons. That in boids is what allows them to open their mouths to freakish angles. And so, without these adaptations, the Matsoidae, despite being constrictors, wouldn't have been able to swallow their prey whole. Sounds good at first, but honestly, you'd prefer it if they gulped you down. Because instead of swallowing, they simply resolved to use their varanoid-like teeth to tear off chunks of flesh that were bite-sized to then swallow. And getting fed on by one may have resembled what you see Komodo dragons do to deers or eels to their respective prey, which is, in other words, just straight up horrifying. Luckily for you though, if you did happen to get caught by a Vasuki, you probably wouldn't need to worry about feeling its teeth tear at your flesh, for its constrictions killed prey at lightning speed, thanks to ridiculous forces. Let's take the anaconda for a second. An obviously feared predator who is scary enough to have gotten its own movie franchise, and can squeeze with 90 pounds per square inch. Very impressive. Yet, the Vasuki indicus makes it look like a complete chump, having vertebrae that are up to 6 times wider than those of the anaconda. In other words, its squeezing was a tad bit tighter.
That one right there. I think it's called the iguana or something. This one right here. This one, I think I know. Yes, Australia. That's what I heard. I mean,
its strongest contractions possibly generated forces like a complete chump, having vertebrae that are up to 6 times wider than those of the anaconda. In other words, its squeezing was a tad bit tighter,
yep.
and its strongest contractions possibly generated forces akin to that of a crocodile bite. Good luck surviving that. And besides the actual bone width, we do see that along the Vasuki skeleton, it possessed relatively high-sitting ribs, which helped form a stronger cylindrical trunk shape, as well as transversely wide vertebrae and broad humeral keel, which is a fancy way for saying that it had a lot of large attachment areas where powerful muscles would have gone. When you consider all of this together, you arrive at the harrowing conclusion that if this snake came back from the dead, many of us would be in trouble. This also doesn't even take into account.
Dead. Oh my god, thank god. There's none of these animals. Thank god. Yo, because if they were still alive, bro, we would be GG's.
But the Vasuki likely had great eyesight and a keen sense of smell, thanks to their forked tongues, which allowed them, and other snakes, to collect scent particles from the air. Meaning that while animals had to be super vigilant just to spot it, it would know where you are no matter what. Suffice to say,
so
this
it got a
night
night vision inside its own eyes. That's fucking crazy. You're not safe if you're gonna go there. I swear to God, if you're gonna go there at the wildness at night, you'll not be safe, bro. Cause that thing have a night vision POV. You know that it can hunt you late at night and it's gonna kill you, and nobody's gonna even hear about you, bro. This is how you know that you're gonna be fucked up.
In quite the package. Albeit, there is a drawback to its design, because it turns out that sustaining a giant serpent of its proportions takes a lot. It essentially requires a very specific kind of environment, and thus, the Vasuki indicus was not a commonality during its existence, rather a rarity, with fossils only being known from India, and on top of that, just from one single location, the Nureti Formation of Gujarat. Now, during the Middle Eocene, India was much warmer than present, and also more isolated, still being an island that was drifting upwards.
Is this India?
And as a result of these two factors, you got a lot of unique environments and strange evolution, which obviously led to the Vasuki, who specifically inhabited mosaic habitats such as back swamp marshes. Here, there was an abundance of other life, which in many cases was also large as well, which provided the Vasuki with the needed resources.
Yo, that's also terrifying. Yo, bro, the wilderness by its own is so terrifying if you're gonna go live there for like some, bro. It's so, thank God that we have cities, we have, you know, we're not living at the wilderness, because if you were living there, bro, I swear to God, I'm not even joking, we're all gonna be dead. Like, there's no chance we're gonna be living for that long there. Bro, that animal with one bite, you are gone. If it bites you one time, nigga, you're gone. You're dead.
To attain its size. And thus far, it's known to have lived alongside numerous...
Yo, imagine being a deer, bro. Like, you are literally gonna be the easiest bait or the easiest animal to get hunted by everybody. Yo, I look, you feel bad for deers.
walks of life, including catfish, turtles, crocodilians, as well as the early whales, Andrewsiphius and Cutchocetus.
The fuck are these? Why do they even have the same mouth?
who are in fact so early on in the evolutionary tree that they're probably not even fully aquatic yet, and thus snakes hunting whales on land might have been a real possibility. Pretty trippy, huh? Along with the other known animals from this
Kangaroo!
environment,
Oh, that's not
paleontologists are
kangaroo.
also
Oh my
aware
God,
of a
I'm
myriad
so idiot. What is that? Why does it look like a combination of a kangaroo and a mouse at the same time?
of life that almost certainly encountered the Vasuki as well, given how close they were found near Nereti. And it seems like the entire region was chock full of primitive whales, namely Charodocetus, Indocetus, Bobiocetus, and Datacetus, as well as the primitive Sirenians,
Why does it all end with a Cius? What?
Protosiren, Eosiren, and Eothyroides. A couple of which, by the way, may have ventured onto land too, given the presence of limbs. So those poor sea cows, or land cows,
What is
or
cutest?
sea land cows, had to watch out as well. And there seems just to have been something in the area that really brought out the most in snakes, with Vasuki being by no means
they're
the
all
sole
related
serpent
to each
around,
other. Okay,
with a variety
okay.
of pythons also
That's
being
why they
known.
got the same name.
And
Okay.
specifically, we think that the pythons which lived in this environment are actually the same ones that still live there today, a testament to just how effective and efficient snakes are. And if this area is starting to sound a little bit too snaky for you, then unfortunately, I've got some more bad news. Because like I said, India was essentially an island at the time, so if you wanted to leave it, you'd have had to venture out to sea in order to escape. But it turns out that escaping wasn't really an option either, as guess what? Snakes were there too, and giant ones at that, namely the Pteris venus, a marine serpent with a powerful tail fluke and a large body that was up to 5.7 meters or 19 feet long. So sure, not outclassing the Vasuki.
Thank you, God, for not even making us wary about living around these kind of animals and just living around humans just like us and feeling safe, because that's terrifying as fuck.
But definitely big enough for me to immediately not like the thought of it. And that just drives home how crazy the Vasuki is. I mean, there's literally a giant snake swimming around in the waters, like Mario 64. And yet,
Mario 64? Is it called Mario?
There's literally a giant snake swimming around in the waters, like Mario 64.
Mario 60, that's my, huh?
And yet, it is not your biggest problem. And unfortunately for the life in India, the Vasuki would remain a major threat for a very long time.
It was written in Mario.
Because while it did need perfect conditions in order to arise, it stuck like gum to asphalt once it appeared. And it would have been a large part of India's ecosystem for millions of years. I mean, really, how are you going to get rid of a snake that's longer than a double-decker?
Good luck, you
the answer to that, my friends, is good old Mother Nature, the final boss for pretty much most species. As stated, one of the reasons why Vasuki evolved in the first place was thanks to a special wombo combo of conditions, including a bountiful ecosystem and the warm temperatures of the Eocene, which also had numerous events of intense heat spikes sprinkled throughout it. So, the snakes got lucky, while many other groups actually perished during these heat spells. But, as you can imagine, their luck eventually ran out. And as the Eocene progressed and the Oligocene approached, the world resumed a cooling shift that had been generally a global trend for some time, with worldwide carbon dioxide levels slowly lowering. And along with getting a bit chillier, the atmosphere started to get a wee bit drier as well. So here you have a giant snake that needs warmth and a wet, swampy home, and now both of these factors were getting stripped away. Suffice to say,
he basically can't live in this generation, or in this period of time. He's gonna be dead.
The clock was ticking for our boy. And lo and behold, before the Eocene had ended, about 33.9 million years ago, this serpent had disappeared from the fossil record, becoming just one more lost relic of time, and serving as a reminder that the planet is always changing. However, while the Vasuki Indicus might be gone for good, its legacy would live on for some time.
Is it gone for good?
Who did lose overall steam during the Eocene,
I mean, for animals,
managed to
other
persist
animals,
in various places,
I think.
including India. And their stories would continue all the way up to just 12,000 years ago, which was basically yesterday. And let me tell you, many of them, not just the Indicus, were some bad cookies. So if you want to learn more about them, go check out an older video I made on them. Thanks for watching, and until—
Yo, that was actually a so entertaining video. I swear to God, I'm not even joking. I really had fun watching this video. I really want to watch videos similar to this, I swear. It might seem weird that I want to watch these type of videos, but I really want to. Holy. Yo, bro. Holy fuck. What is that? 3 days surviving at the Snake Island.